Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 124 of Ask Vidas and Ausra podcast. And this question was sent by Dineke. And she wants to know when you really need to stop learning a piece. When is enough? When have you made enough progress so that you could pick up a new piece? First of all, I think it's for everyone different, right, Osha?
I think so, and I think it's never enough to stop. Actually, the piece is perfect enough. I think if once after playing a piece you can see, oh wow, it's perfect, then it means that you don't need to perform anymore, and I don't think that's possible.
Right. What about for you, for example, when you learn? Remember the last piece you performed in public was group of pieces, but let's say variations in D Andante by Mendelssohn, right? So when did you decide to stop practicing this piece?
I never stop practicing the piece. That's my point.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I did it. I played it during recital, but I will, play it in the future, so I will still be working on it.
With some breaks, right?
Yes, with some breaks, yes.
In between of those periods, you pick up other pieces
Yes,
depending on your goals.
yes. And after a while, I'm maybe returning to that piece and I will play it maybe differently with new ideas. So polishing a piece, it's never, the finished process for me at least. I don't know what about you.
It's a good question. I feel that whenever I learn the piece inside out, very deeply analyze it, write down fingering and pedaling, even memorize it. Sometimes I go very crazy and transpose it to keys that have different accidentals. So whenever I do this, I know that whenever I need to make a break, even a break of several years, I can pick up this piece with relative ease and continue practice relatively without any struggle and frustration. Of course, several few days, even weeks might go shaky, but then little by little my memory refreshes and I start playing just like a few years ago or even decade ago, I would think too. But you need to learn first of all very, very thoroughly the piece in order to do that after a while.
Yes, but in general, if you want to know if you are over with that piece, you just have to be able to play it in the right tempo without any mistakes. I would say at least 3 times in a row. What
That
about you? What do you think? Would you agree
that's
or not?
that's an excellent point. I think if you want to be more secure, I think 5 or even 10 times in a row would work for some people. Uh, and it depends on the occasion and on the stress level and on the level of what is at stake, right? For
Yes,
example,
because if you are playing for yourself and you are still making mistakes,
nobody cares,
yeah,
right?
well, yes, but it means that definitely you are not, done with this piece because in public performance it will be 10 times worse.
But if you are playing it for the competition, let's say, when somebody who's an expert will judge you and will 10 or 20 other high level organists will compete with you, then you have to be really precise and perfect this piece up to the point that you can't even make a mistake. That's how the professionals are different from amateurs, I've heard. Amateurs practice is until they get it right, and professionals practice until they cannot make a mistake anymore. That's a big difference, right, Osha?
Yes.
So I think you have to be strict with yourself when deciding when it's enough, when it's okay to show for the public, and be realistic of your level, because stress and all the stakes will get hold of you during the public performance. So you actually have to play automatically,
Yes,
be
that's
able
right.
to play with your eyes closed in complete darkness, let's say.
Yes, and it's often a case with organists that you practice on one organ and then you have to perform on another organ. It also will make things harder actually, so you have to be really, really ready and know your piece very well.
And if you're used to playing your right hand on the upper manual and the left hand on the lower manual, it will make a big difference if you reverse the hands, if you're not used to the
Yeah,
reversal.
so you have to be really comfortable to feel comfortable with your piece, to be able, to do all these additional things.
It all comes quite naturally, I think, over time, right?
Yes.
You don't need to rush those things. You don't need to be in a hurry to reach perfection, I think. Right, Osha?
Well, sometimes you do if you have a deadline very soon.
What do you mean?
Well, if you have recital in a few days, for example,
And
and you are not ready yet, so then you are in a big trouble and you have to hurry.
so maybe your planning then is not okay. Maybe a person like this chose a piece, all the pieces that are new and all the pieces that are very long and all they are very difficult. That's a big lack of understanding how to plan, right? Because you don't need to play everything very difficult and stuff and everything new. You can repeat.
That's right. So I don't think there is no like one answer when your piece is ready. You just have to decide for yourself.
And know that whenever you come back to this piece, you will find something new to work on.
That's right.
That's okay. Even after a while, after a few years, your level might have grown, and you will figure out some new things on how to perfect it even further.
That's right.
Your taste might change, right, Osha?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Good luck, guys, in perfecting the pieces that you choose. You will never reach perfection. I will never reach perfection, and Osha will. I don't know. Will you reach perfection?
No, never.
Never. So we have to live with that. But probably the main point here is to become a little bit better each time we practice than yesterday. Compare ourselves with ourselves yesterday,
That's a very good point.
and not to the masters and other virtuoso organists who we hear from recordings and videos. Polished, and you never know if you pick up a CD if this CD is a live performance or it's edited with many takes and glued together fragments. Right? It's not live anymore.
Yes, that's right.
So, how do you record pieces, Osho? Do you record it in one sitting or do you take multiple takes?
Well, I record them when sitting actually.
You don't edit things.
No.
You might stop when it's a big break, right? In
Yes, of
episode
course, but
movement, end of movement. but it doesn't make sense to me too. We are here alike. I don't like editing too much. I try to play with feeling and with liveliness. Of course, some sloppy mistakes are not okay for official
Sure,
recording.
of
Then I
course.
need to redo it, retake it until I get it right.
But when I just record everything again
Hmm.
from the beginning to the end.
Right. Thanks, guys. This is really interesting. Please send us more of your questions. We love helping you grow. Right, Osha?
Yes,
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.